Afternoon, people. It seems to be a day for media on the cashless debit card. So tonight we've got us coming up on the 7:30 report on ABC. So all of a sudden you've got all this media everywhere. Funny how it comes all at once, doesn't it? So just found an article from a paper from Bundaberg today. Cashless debit card funding boost. Now let's get this clear. The last time they used some of the wraparound funding was to pay for the wages of Hindu staff contracts, okay? So let's get into this. It's because Keith Pitts out here, Support services in Bundaberg and Hervey Bay regions will receive additional funding to provide ongoing assistance to local cashless debit card participants. Well, if it's working so well, why do they have to put funding in to help the participants? You know what I mean? That's because it's not working so well. But it doesn't work that way. Anyway, so Minister for Families and Services, Social Services, Anne Ruston, said the Morrison government would provide almost $550,000 to the Hervey Bay Neighbourhood Centre in Hervey Bay and Impact Community Services in Bundaberg. For those of you who don't know, that's where the Hindu shop fronts are. That's where they have their staff. All right, the cashless debit card can be a successful financial management tool if this funding builds on its existing success in the region of supporting vulnerable people and families, Minister Ruston said. The government will continue working with communities and their leaders to identify critical issues and support local needs where the card operates. Federal member for Hinkler, Keith Pitts, said the funding guarantees the continuation of the community services and minimises the disruptions for participants. Well, the way to minimise disruptions for participants is get them off the bloody thing so they don't have to put up with the disruptions, as he calls them. You know what I mean? Disruptions like being made homeless, having black marks on your rental history, having your credit rating destroyed, your mental health destroyed. All right? The Hervey Bay Neighbourhood Centre and Impact Community Services offer an important suite of services that will support local efforts to improve outcomes for the community, promote responsible spending of welfare. These services include full-time case managers to assist cashless debit card participants to access support, including financial counselling, parenting programs, education and training. So have Hindu staff all of a sudden become Parents Next programs and education and training job agencies? You know what I mean? It makes me wonder, doesn't it? The Hervey Bay Neighbourhood Centre and Impact Services will receive $547,000 of additional funding for the 2021 calendar year to deliver the services to the cashless debit card participants. So they're just going to continue to pay the wages of the staff they've got in the offices. The new investment sees cashless debit card support services funding in the region total $1,093,334, all going to staff 4 staffers. That's it. 4 people's contracts, wages. All right? What other services are they providing? I don't see anything here. Further information on cashless debit card is available on the Department of Services Social Services website. Right? But how much money's been put into drug rehab? How much money's been put into homeless services? How much money is being put into proper programs? They're not breaking it down as to how much they've actually put into real programs. And if you're on the cashless debit card and Hindu is supposed to be managing your income, why do you have to go to a financial counsellor who won't be able to do anything for you anyway, because Hindu's in control of 80% of that income? You know, a financial counsellor can write you a budget till the cows come home. If you can't access that money to be able to follow that budget, you're screwed. And financial counsellors have come out across the whole country and said that the rate of job seeker, right, and youth allowance has got to the point where it's too low to even financially counsel people in a budget because the rate of payments doesn't cover the basics. It's got to that point. You know what I mean? That no amount of financial counselling will fix the state of our social services system. So, yeah, I just thought I'd just do this one. The staff are getting their wages because the contracts have just been extended. That's all that is. Meanwhile, we've got Tent City at the neighbourhood centre where the Indu Cashless debit card office is. You've got tent cities in Bundaberg, you've got homeless people across the area, couch surfing, and you've got families who are, you know, at risk of homelessness as well. And there's no money put into housing, emergency housing, or any of that sort of help, because the federal government cut the funding for that sort of stuff, right? And says, oh, it's a state problem, but the state can't do anything when federal funding's been cut as well, you know. But they're trying to blame the Labor government for the housing issues, and it's like, well, hang on a minute, you cut off our funding. What can we do? You know, the federal government has cut off housing funding for the states. They have to take responsibility for that too. Anyway, I'm out. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.